So the purpose of today's meeting is to find someone to announce the prize winner for the International Women Chiropractors Day.
What about this Dr. Lindsay? She looks like a good candidate.
She does podcasts and her own courses. Okay, let's go with her.
We are live in 3, 2, 1.
I have Dr. Lindsay. Hello, Dr. Lindsay.
Oh, how are you?
She looks a little mannish.
Hello, it's Paul at InstantChiro, and today we're talking to Dr. Nancy Cooper from Women Chiropractors. Hi, Dr. Cooper, how are you?
Hi.
We just had a chat a few minutes ago about where you are in the country. Can you tell our listeners where you are?
I'm in Carmel, Indiana, which is a suburb of Indianapolis. Yeah.
And it's quite nice there?
Yes. Yeah.
And how long have you been in practice for?
Gosh, I think I'm coming up on 32 years in this December, so quite a while.
So a little bit of experience.
Yeah.
And you run a family and pediatric chiropractic clinic. How long have you been doing pediatrics for?
I got my board certification in 2006, and so I've been slowly focusing on pediatrics since 2006. But now my practice is exclusively pediatrics and pregnant women. I do see some of my patients I've seen over the years currently, but the only new patients I take they have to be pregnant or a child.
So what are some of the challenges of a pediatric chiropractor?
Oh boy. It's been really smooth for me in the state I practice in. I know worldwide there's some stuff going on, but I think where I'm at, the moms are starting to, and parents, I should say, are starting to understand more about it. And I tell you one thing, since social media has come around, it's made my job a lot easier. Before social media, I had to go out and do talks and kind of educate people about chiropractic. But now with social media, moms are educating each other, and so we don't have to do as much convincing, I guess, about why a child needs adjusted. But my biggest challenge is, oh boy, probably once a child gets better, just kind of keeping them on maintenance, I would say, is probably the biggest challenge. Because then, you seek out care when you're in crisis, but you don't really think about kind of keeping, the spine maintained as they're growing. So that's probably my biggest challenge.
So you see them from birth until about what age would you say?
Yeah, I'll see them all through high school. I do see some college kids too, but mostly from newborn to through high school.
I think social media's changed the game so much now, because if you want to target just people that are parents in your area that are also researching back pain, you can do that. And it's an amazing thing to me for these new clinics to be able to do that.
We're fortunate we don't have to do any advertising at this point in my career, but they, because it is word of mouth, and there are several groups in the area, that are natural-minded moms, and they all talk. So it's been a blessing for us for sure.
So why did you become a chiropractor?
Oh boy. My dad was a chiropractor, and my uncle, they were both chiropractors at the same time. And I grew up in the chiropractic lifestyle, and right around middle school, I always wanted to marry a chiropractor. That was going to be my deal. I was going to marry a chiropractor, raise our children, chiropractic kids. And then, life changed about in middle school for me. And then I decided, you know what, I think I need to be the chiropractor. And I just our practice was in our home. So I got to see a lot of my dad's patients, and they always talked highly of him and were appreciative of the work he did. And I'm kind of one of those people that want to help people, like a lot of people do, I think. But I thought, wow, if I could help other people, doing something that I've preached since I was a kid, why not? So I got into chiropractic, and then I switched to pediatrics because when I got into chiropractic, as most chiropractors know, it's a lot of pain, and that's kind of how we've marketed. That's how people come into our office because they're in pain. And I really got into it to deal with health. And kids are where it's at, because you are changing their health, and it's not about the pain as much as it is with the adults. So midway through my career, I switched, so I can do what I really love, and it's help people be healthy, basically.
My oldest child, he grew up in a chiropractic clinic in our house in England, and he now wants to be a chiropractor. So I wonder how much is in that now. I wonder if they want their children to be chiropractors, should just maybe have the clinic in the house. Now, I read some research the other day, and it said that ladies who give birth, have chiropractic treatment, have a 33% decrease in the amount of time in labour. Have you found that to be true? Have you read anything about that?
It's been, I was just thinking yesterday, I have not had a C-section baby, unless they planned it for whatever reason. I was just thinking that yesterday. I haven't had a C-section baby birth in a while, unless it was maybe one or two in the last year. So the women that get adjusted during pregnancy have had better labors. It's very rare that I don't hear that the outcome has been great and what they expected after or throughout the pregnancy. Now, we do have some that come towards the end, but the ones that have gotten it through the pregnancy have had great outcomes.
Now, you're from the Women Chiropractors organisation, womenchiropractors.org, and you have an International Women Chiropractors Day. What day is that?
Yeah, on June 5th, we were able to get, I don't know how we do it. You have to submit, information to some government agency. But we were able to get June 5th designated as International Women Chiropractors Day. So it covers us worldwide.
And you also have a yearly conference. I think the next one's in 2020. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah. Yeah, it's the very first, we did it last year. It was the very first all-women chiropractors conference. No CAs, there was one husband there, I think, but there were some men, the vendors. But it was really a unique conference, and it's tailor-made for the women chiropractors, our needs that we have. And so we were excited to do it again in 2020 in May 1st through 3rd, I think it is.
How did you find that space with it just being women? Was it freeing? Was it restrictive? How did you find it?
It was really freeing, and it was a different experience. It was really, I'm not one of those girls that just hangs out with girls. I always like hanging out with my guys too, but it was a definite, I don't know. It was a different environment. I can't even explain it. Just having all women chiropractors, we didn't have to say, oh, what do you do? And then when the vendors were talking to you, they knew they were talking to a chiropractor, not a CA. So I don't know. It was just a really unique experience, unlike anything I've ever been to.
You did talk about earlier that different technique systems, you have to treat them differently being a woman. Is there different things that you have to do? I mean, I'm not a woman.
Yeah.
But I think your organisation thought I was, Dr. Lindsay, giving away the arthrostim, and I was going to turn up and go, surprise, I'm a man, and I'm English. But what things do you have to do different?
Yeah, I think women, we do have some adaptive techniques, and that's kind of what we strive to teach women is how to adapt. We're all into biomechanics too, but a lot of women are smaller framed. We need tables that are shorter. We need the tables to work for us. We need instruments that we can hold on to. Our hands might be smaller, things like that. Just the force we use is different. So we're really working with some of the technique companies and technique instructors to modify to help women, be stronger adjusters, really, instead of just having to rely on other, techniques as a fallback. That we need a whole bunch that, we can, what do you call it, your bag of tricks, adapted just for women.
I don't think it's just women either, because benches seem too high for me. I mean, do you call them tables, benches in America? I don't. But benches or tables, they seem too high for me because I'm 5'10.5". The half's important, and I can't find one that goes low enough for me. I mean, you look a little bit taller than I am, but do you find that to be a problem?
But I was partnered with a gal who was she's 5'2" or 5'4", and we were trying to get a table both of us to work on. And we really had to search for a specific table that would go low for her, but yet come up higher for me. So I think we found, I think it was a hill we found, but I think she still had some issues. We still needed to go a little lower, for her, especially to get the right line of drive. She was also a concept practitioner, so she would do some side posture adjusting, and for her to go lower so she could crawl over the patient, it's hard to find a table like that will go that low. So hopefully we can get some more out there.
Yeah, I think we do need to get around it because I use a 3-room system. So if I've got 3 chiropractors on, I have 8 or 9 rooms going at the same time. And we've had great chiropractors. We had a wonderful chiropractor, Nina Gerling. She's tiny. You're tiny, Nina. I'm sorry. She's about 4'9". I'll probably get an email later saying I'm not. And we had to use a step on both sides of the bench to be able to get up there. And I've had a look and I can't see any reason why we can't lower that down, because there is a gap under there, under these elevating tables, which is a problem. So maybe we need to start like petitioning bench makers to do that.
Yeah. I think we all need to get together, and I think one collective thing that our organization really wants to do is really work with the table companies. It's something we talk about with our board, but we would really like to talk to them, and let's get the tables that can go lower, because biomechanically.
Well, tell them it's not just female chiropractors, it's people like me as well.
We'll
Yeah, when I went to university, I went to the Welsh Institute of Chiropractic, and it was 60% female and 40% male. And I'm guessing that's a bit different from when you studied.
10% in my class. We had 250 in our class, and 25 were women.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I'm used to hanging out with guys. That's that's I grew up with them, and practiced with them, and so for me to switch to hanging out with a bunch of women has really been different for me. It's I like it.
Is that why Women Chiropractors Organisation came to be, or what were the reasons why the organisation was formed?
It was the founder, Cindy, had gone through she's a chiropractor, and her husband was a chiropractor. And after, I don't know how many years of practice, they ended up having 7 kids, and she pretty much stayed home and raised the kids and would go in maybe and work on some pregnant women. But throughout, I don't know how many years they had been married, maybe 30, he ended up leaving. And when he left, he left her the practice. So here she is for 30 some years. She hadn't really practiced. She, probably ran, behind the scenes like a lot of the women do, women chiropractors. But so here she's left with this practice, and she's like, what do I do? And she didn't know who to reach out to. And so she actually contacted some of her girlfriends in the area, and started meeting up with them, and they helped her, kind of get it in her groove and get practicing. And she, saved the practice, filled it up. But she always thought, it'd be nice, there's women out there that don't have girlfriends, that do the same thing they do in their area. So it'd be nice to have a group of women that could do that. So so she talked to me, and she's like, what do we do? And I go, well, let's this Facebook group stuff, it was like coming to be. So I go, why don't we make a Facebook group? And so we found a younger girl who knew more about Facebook than us, who helped us develop this group. And we just started adding our friends, and then more and more. So we started with 2 and ended up, now we're at like 75, almost 7,600 women chiropractors only. And then she has also developed a program called Reentry. So there's a program for women that have been out of practice for a while, like her, and that want to get back into practice. And so we have every year we do I think it's a 10-week reentry program to help women get back into practice. So it's really, this is where it all started, was for her. She found a need that she needed, and then this was born. And then it's just become bigger, bigger than that. So and we're following that passion, helping women chiropractors.
I think that's the thing. When you find something that's good, helps people, that it just grows. I'm sure at the beginning you didn't think you were going to have more than the 5, 10, 7, whatever you started with. I'm assuming it expands the whole world. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's a connection we all have. If we're all in this free Facebook group, and anywhere you travel, and you meet other women that are on the group, and you all have that in common. So Yeah, we never envisioned it being this big, believe me. It was, and then she went to lunch with some of her girlfriends, and they're like, it's time. I mean, we saw the numbers growing and growing, and they said it's time to make this thing a real thing. So we developed a not-for-profit organization, and now we're doing way more than just the reentry program.
So as well as your main conferences and your re-entry program as well, are you doing other events?
We're doing pop-ups, we call them, in the state. So there will be one in Indiana, October 19th. It's a Saturday. And these pop-ups are just a one-day event where in the morning there's lecture, and in the afternoon we're just working on adjusting skills with women. So we're all, everybody's showing their tricks, adaptive adjusting, how you do this, how you do that, kind of like what you're talking about with your shoulder technique you do with the R system. Things like that. We'll spend 4 hours just on technique and helping women develop their skills even better. And then we're going to be doing them in each state. Right now we have several states we're doing them in. So we're calling them our pop-ups.
Okay, and how can people get onto those? I mean, how do you arrange that? Get onto one of those pop-ups?
We don't know yet. That's our first ones, and we haven't even advertised the Indiana one. We got to get our CEs approved. But, we're thinking maybe 20 to 40 people, somewhere in there. If we have five, we have five, but all we want to do is help one,
I think that's the basis of a great organization, just helping that one person. But I know you have lots of people turn up. I mean, how many people turn up at the big conference, the yearly conference?
I think we had almost 200 at the first one, so we expect more at the second one. Yeah. We have this second one's going to be at a smaller hotel. We haven't announced the hotel yet, but it's a smaller hotel, so I think it's going to be full of women chiropractors. So we're going to take over the place.
When your office contacted me to give away the ArthroStim, they were saying that about 80% of women chiropractors in the Women Chiropractors organization use the ArthroStim instrument. And I was just wondering why they use it, because I use it all the time. I'm also one of those big cracking people. I like to get in there and give it a good crack and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I use it for things that it can't be used by my hands for, or that the ArthroStim does a better job at. Things like adjusting in motion, adjusting through the range of motion, adjusting in areas where we can't do by hand. And we also talked about shoulders in depth off camera, and the fact that we use them for shoulders nearly exclusively because it's so good for that. I'm just wondering what your experience is in women chiropractors. Is it that they use them to replace adjusting manually, or are they using it like I do as an adjunct to manually adjusting?
There's where I've seen it used is with KST. I know that they use it a lot with soft tissue, because I know there's adapting heads for soft tissue. What I really like about it is how small the one piece single tube is for infants. It's a little tiny head for infants. So yeah, it's a great machine.
Yeah, when I do a children's cervical adjustment, that tip is like 3 times smaller than my little finger that I use as the contact. And so it's super beneficial for me.
Yeah.
When I did the research for this, I looked on your Facebook page and I noticed that you help people with weight loss. And you had quite a dramatic weight loss yourself. And I'm just wondering, for myself really, because I want to lose weight, what do you do?
So I tell people I've been dieting since 6th grade. I've done everything, every diet out there. And I think the biggest thing I found with dieting, quote unquote dieting, face it, you're dieting. They always say, oh, it's eating healthy, it's all that, whatever. You want to lose weight, it's dieting. My biggest thing is convenience. I do want to eat healthy and get nutrition, but it's just hard to, cook all the time. So my office mate lost a lot of weight, and then I saw one of my patients' daughter lost a lot of weight, and so I asked, what is this you guys are doing? So they told me about this program called Optavia. And so my office mate is a big researcher. She doesn't like to do anything without reading into it first. So she did all the research and found out it's nutritionally packed. They have what's called fueling. So you eat 5 of these fuelings a day and then 1 meal. And it's keeping your blood sugar stable all day. You eat every 2 to 3 hours. And so it burns your fat versus your sugar in the blood for energy. So I signed up to be a health coach on that. and I started in just before Thanksgiving. So I went through a Thanksgiving dinner, a Christmas dinner, New Year's Eve, all while on this program. And by end of March, I lost 40 pounds. So yeah, it was, and it's been the easiest program. I've kept off my weight now because I'm in maintenance. Been able to keep off my weight, and then I've been thinking maybe I want to go a little more, but it's but I'm healthier. My nails are strong. The energy is amazing. My skin is clear. It's just, I don't know. It's not only is it a diet, but the fuelings, the food has a lot of nutrition in it, and and they're balanced protein, carb, low fat, low sugar. So it's the only thing that's really worked for me since sixth grade that has been easy, fit into my lifestyle, and now I help other people, with the same issues.
So if somebody like myself wants to get in contact with you about weight loss, how can we do that?
Find me on Facebook, Nancy Cooper, DC, DICCP. You can email me at drnancy@kids-chiropractor.com. My website for Optavia is drnancy.optavia.com. So that's if you want to kind of look around and see what's going on. That's a good spot to go.
Now, obviously, our main focus today is on women chiropractors. And what would you say to a female chiropractor or chiropractic student, or even someone thinking of starting the profession? What would you say to them?
Oh boy, for a beginning chiropractor, first of all, join this group because you're going to find everything you need to know about this. You're going to get help. I was fortunate I had my dad when I got out of school to help me teach me stuff, things like that. But don't go it alone. I would really highly suggest getting an associate position with the intention of really opening your own practice. It's nice to have the freedom of your own practice. So I know that there's a lot of chiropractors are going to kill me for saying that because we do need associates too. But with your own practice, you can make your own hours, and that's kind of another reason I got into chiropractic was I had seen some of my cousins before me that had kids that were also female chiropractors, and I saw how they were able to raise children and be a chiropractor because they were able to move their hours around. So I thought, oh, this is ideal. I want to be a mom. I want to be a chiropractor. So, I just went off and started my own practice pretty much right away, so I could have that flexibility.
Now, it's interesting that you say that because I just finished the interview with Simon and Jeanette Goff, and they set up a chiropractic clinic straight after college, same as I did. It sounds like very similar to yourself, because of that family connection, because they wanted and I wanted to be able to pick up the children from school, and if you've got the discipline, you can do that. And I think chiropractic is one of those wonderful professions where you can, if you own your own clinic, create a lifestyle that's beneficial to everybody. And that's the whole reason we go to work. We don't go to work to make money. We go to work to make more life. And I think sometimes we lose sight of that. And what would you say to a female chiropractor who is currently in practice and maybe struggling or just feels like they're a bit disconnected? What would you say to them?
Definitely reach out to one of the chiropractors on our board. We will bend over backwards to help anybody that's struggling that needs our help. There's 5 of us on the board that are just passionate about helping women, and we give up our time all the time to help women. So reach out to one of us. We have a wealth of knowledge from business to niches to techniques, finances to marketing. If you need our help, we're there for you. And if we can't help you, we know enough women now that can help. So it's our passion just to help. We want women to be successful.
And how can female chiropractors get in contact with womenchiropractors.org?
Just go to womenchiropractors.org. I think there's a contact information on there. If not, look up Women Chiropractors on the Facebook. Women Chiropractors. We have a page. You can message us through there, and then somebody will get back to you for sure.
Well, thank you, Dr. Cooper. I'd like to thank you for everything you do with Women Chiropractors at womenchiropractors.org and for just being an excellent chiropractor. And this is Paul from InstantChiro saying I love you all, above, down, and inside out.
Thank you.
Well, we just finished the interview with Dr. Nancy Cooper from womenchiropractors.org, and there's a lot of things we talk about on InstantChiro.com and lots of very famous chiropractors that we interview. And so if you'd like to join us more often, just click the subscribe button if you're on the podcast, or just come and see us for the video version at InstantChiro.com. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're all having a great day. A double rewind can mean only one thing: an amazing offer. And so we actually have two amazing offers for you today. We have $175 off an Arthrostim and a high dollar donation to Women Chiropractors, all with the Women's Chiropractors package for the Arthrostim, and that's by Impact Inc. Plus, they're going to give you $75 off the pre-order of my pelvic torsion course, which is due to release next week. And in it we show you all the tools and how to use it to unlock the pelvis in a way that's never been shown before, using Arthrostim, the Vibracussor, and our hands, and various other tools with and without tools. We go through the 4 releases of the pelvis to show you how to really get that change. And we also show you how to use every one of the tools that you may choose to use to do this, where to place it, and how to provide the change needed to get that pelvis to move, freeing up the prone straight leg raise, which is what allows us to walk without pain. And it was $125, but Impact Inc. have given you $75 off, plus $175 off the Arthrostim, all for Women Chiropractors. And to get that, all you need to do is go to www.instantchiro.com/women.